All right, everybody. Welcome back. This and That Sports. It's your boy Logie and Matt. How's
What up?
life, dude? How's life this weekend?
It's going, man. It's
It's
been a
going.
little bit of a stressful weekend, getting
Yeah.
ready for Ashlyn's surgery.
Oh, yes. That's
Possible baby
Tuesday, right?
coming. Yep, that is Tuesday. So,
Tuesday.
yeah, it's going to be a busy week. So, I'm not looking forward to it. Not
Yeah.
ready. How's your week? How was your weekend?
Not too bad. I went bowl. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I went bowling yesterday.
Okay, there you go.
Didn't bowl too bad. The first game I did not good, but then the second game I did like a 170. So
It's not
we-
too bad.
we'll take the 170s here and there. But yeah, dude. Other than that, been vibing. Been watching Breaking Bad.
Oh,
I
yeah?
got,
You
I got, I
rewatching it?
yeah. I almost got to the part where it's he can't keep getting away with this. I'm kind of looking forward to that part.
Classic.
That's
Yeah.
the best part. Besides that, yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is May 7th. A little bit earlier than when we've been recording it. It's 9 o'clock instead of like 10:30. So it feels blessed that we're like an hour early. Maybe we can get some decent sleep.
We're making progress. We're making progress. It's baby steps, but
maybe eventually we start recording at 6. That'd be fantastic.
maybe that. Yeah, we get a little risky with that.
That's a step. That's a step. But yeah, dude, since last week we've been doing really good actually. Our last podcast on YouTube got 51 views, which is super good compared to our last video before that. We grew about 500% in views if you do the math, so it's kind of good. We went from 10 to 50, 500, 5,000. I don't know math. And then
Don't ask me.
who cares?
I ain't any good at that.
Yeah, and then also gained an additional 10 subs. Viewership has been pretty good on there with our reels. We're pretty consistent, getting 1,000 views every other video, every couple of videos. So viewership's been pretty solid on YouTube as it goes for Spotify. I don't know if you could check a follower account or anything like that. I don't really know how that works. I haven't done a deep
I haven't
dive.
been able to see that. Yeah.
I have to give you the link for the podcast one. So, but we have gotten about 15 plays on the Spotify version of episode 2. So good improvement there. We went from 6 to 15. So that's also grown as well. TikTok has been the one that's blown up the most. We've gone from just over 100 subscribers to almost 400. We're at 360 right now. So, but within the next couple of days, we'll probably be hitting that 400 mark. It's been growing very, very well. Same with Instagram. Instagram's been blowing up. Same kind of concept. We're almost at 200 followers on there. And then a really big milestone that we've hit is on Facebook. We're only at about 20 followers on Facebook or 20 likes, whatever it is. But all of our videos combined so far in the past 2 weeks that we've been doing this has hit 100,000 views on the page, which was insane to see. I looked that up this morning. I was like, I don't even know how.
That's crazy.
We've been getting decent likes on the Facebook side of things, but to see that it's hit 100,000 views is like insane. So we gotta really grind in on how we can grow those viewers and get more likes on the Facebook side. So
just keep liking, keep commenting, share when you can.
Yeah.
Just spread the word, man. But we appreciate all the love that we've had so far. It's been awesome.
TikTok's getting close to that jersey giveaway. TikTok's getting close.
Yeah, we're getting close, but
yeah, it's
still decent amount of followers that we need. So make sure you keep sharing us, and we'll get that jersey giveaway going sooner than we thought.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited to give that to somebody. A little bit not off topic, but the Suns game tonight was pretty good. I'm wearing the Suns hat today for people that aren't watching the YouTube or the Spotify audio video thing. Played a great game tonight. Series is tied 2-2. KD popped off. He played about 44 minutes with 36 points, 11 rebounds. So love KD on the Suns. He's been doing really good for us. D-Book, 40 minutes, 36 points, and then he was 12 assists. So D-Book, my guy, he's been balling out just the whole playoffs. Like, the dude's unstoppable. And then a little dark horse on the Suns tonight was Landry Shamet, 30 minutes, 20 points. He's usually just a bench player, but he came off the bench. I don't know if they had him starting tonight. I don't think they did. I didn't really watch too much of the game. But and then on the Denver side, Jokic, he balled out. He actually scored 53 points. Played 39 minutes. He set a record for the Nuggets in the playoffs for most points. He had 11 assists. I know. Dude, this dude's insane. Like, literally, he'll just get a rebound. If you watch this guy, like, Jamal Murray shoots a three, misses. Jokic just kind of just like barely just moves and just taps it in. It's just he's just insane. He's that guy. And then Jamal Murray, 42 minutes, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. So good game, good series so far. Tied 2-2. We are going back to Denver, I believe Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday. So excited to see. We got destroyed both times in Denver. So hopefully Suns can bring one win in Denver to come back here. So yeah, dude, it's been fun to watch. You need to start watching. You need to watch some of these games, bro.
I know, yeah, I need to dive into that. But speaking of diving into sports you don't really know, I mean, just kind of touching on baseball a little bit. I do want to touch on, Vida Blue did pass away today. He was a three-time World Series champion with the A's. So rest in peace to him and condolences to his family. He was a great ball player, great pitcher. So sucks to see him pass away, but same thing with Hank Aaron recently. You see a lot of these legends kind of starting to pass away and start to see. So sad, but it's a sad reality that we got to kind of prep ourselves for.
When we start seeing some of these legends in our era start dying, it's going to be so sad to see.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, there's still been some tragic deaths with John Madden and stuff like that in the league, but when you start seeing your Tom Brady's, Aaron Rodgers, people like Brett Favre, it's gonna be pretty sad to see those guys
absolutely.
Go. So, hopefully they stay around for a long time, but move to a little bit more happier thing.
Let's
betting this week was a little bit more positive than last week. At least
we had some good stuff this week.
Yeah. I mean, what kind of bets? How many bets did you end up placing last week?
I placed a couple. I didn't go crazy last week. There was a few I was gonna post, but I just didn't get them up in time.
Yeah.
I did hit on, I believe, 4 total.
Okay.
So I had a decent, payout this week. I had a couple losses, but there weren't anything close, so they weren't even really worth mentioning. But just a couple baseball ones that I did hit. These are 3 of them. I bet on the Braves and Marlins again. Super easy matchup to constantly bet on. So I picked the Braves money line. Luis Ariz, Ronald Acuna, and Ozzy Albies all to get a hit. And also Ronald Acuna to score a run. That was at plus 523. That did hit. I also put a bet on the Angels and Cardinals. Cardinals have been playing like shit, so they're pretty easy to bet against pretty lately. So I bet the Angels money line, Otani, Goldschmidt, Trout to get a hit, and Lars Nootbaar to get a run. Those all hit, but Mike Trout didn't play, so his got voided. So I ended up hitting anyway. Same thing with the next one. I kind of doubled down on it and just did another Angels money line. Otani, Goldschmidt, Nootbaar, and Trout all to get a hit. The first one hit at plus 1,069, and the second one hit at plus 756. So a couple good ones there, and a couple easy bets just to make because Nootbaar's been hot. Otani is always a good bet to get a hit, and Braves, such a good team to constantly bet on. They have a lot of guys that are going to get 2-3 hits a game. Sean Murphy's hot. Ozzy Albies is definitely hot. So ride those hot players while you can and set those, hit parlays, home run parlays, whatever you're looking at. Build those odds, but stick with the hot teams.
Cool. Yeah, I only did 2 bets again. I really wanted to do more bets. I just forgot. It gets kind of hard, during the work week trying to place some bets because I can place bets easily. It's just making videos off them. I want to show what I'm betting rather than just I can make bets all day, but trying to make content off of it sometimes is hard. I had 2 bets. One, it was like a little, I clicked on the game for the 76ers and the Celtics, and they just had like a little preset same game. It was like a little fun one. It was Jason Tatum to score four threes, James Harden to score three threes, Jalen Brown to score two threes, and then Tobias Harris to score one three. That failed miserably. That was really bad, dude. Only Tobias Harris hit a 3-pointer that game, and
That's pretty sad.
I think he hit a couple of them too. So that one didn't hit, but I had one that did hit. It was a 4-leg parlay. It was the Suns to win. Excuse me. Jamal Murray to shoot over 20 points. D Book to shoot more than two threes, and then Joker to score more than 24 points. NBA that day was doing a plus 100% on that, so I added that to it. So total thing was 950. I bet $10, 105 off of it. So
Pretty
pretty
good.
cool there. That was pretty good little bet. And it was pretty easy. I really wish I bet more because Jamal Murray I think ended up scoring like 25 points. D Book hit like six threes. Joker had 30 points, and then the Suns won. So I feel like if I upped that just a little bit, it would have been a little bit sweeter. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, there was definitely some games I could have bet on too that I just
Yeah.
didn't, but should have. A couple that I did want to just bring up real quick. These won't be immediate payouts, but I did set these.
Oh yes. Not later.
I did kind of put some active bets on the upcoming NFL season. So this isn't necessarily something that's going to pay out right away, but just a few that I threw in is the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Yeah. Yeah, you better soak that in while it lasts. I mean, the odds are great on it. It's plus 850. I mean, they have a loaded roster. They were in the Super Bowl last year.
I like it.
You know, it's hard not to. So
I like
that's
it.
a great bet to put some money on. The other two that I did have was I threw two bets on two different guys to win MVP. One for Mahomes and one for Burrow. Um,
You don't believe
they're
in Jalen
both.
Hurts?
I could have thrown one on there, but these odds were a little better. The odds were plus 700 for both, so
Oh.
I threw those on just as little $5 bets, but should be good. And then I did take the division winners. So this one is more of a bigger one. It's kind of going out on a limb. Just let's
It's like
roll
a
the dice,
parlay
and
through all of them. You didn't do like an individual one.
I did do a parlay with all of them. So I mean, you can split them, you can parlay them. I mean, I just said fuck it, let's roll
Let's
the
hear it.
dice, and
Let's hear it.
so the odds are plus 39,560.
Hey, if it hits though,
Hey, if it hits, I win $4,000 off $10. So,
we'll take that.
so I took the Bengals to win, the
Okay.
Bills to win,
Okay.
Chiefs, Jags, 49ers, Eagles, Vikings, and Saints.
Not bad. The only one they might have an issue with is the Vikings.
It's hit or miss. I mean, I think they're possibly the best team in the division. It's tough to say, but I said fuck it, let's roll the dice. Let's see what happens.
I like it, dude. I like it. I accidentally did mess up when I was building the Suns parlay. There was a thing. It was like a plus 900, and all I saw was Suns to win, and I was like, dude, bet just plus 900. I bet it, and then I was like, and I looked at it again. It was Suns to win game three, and then they have to win the series.
Ooh,
So that's an ongoing bet I have right now. It's the same thing. I win 105 off of it if they win. So series tie 2-2. But I was just thinking about this. I don't know why. I was just thinking about this when we were talking about bets. Dude, when we come into an NBA bet, I just have like the best idea for content. We can build a parlay with both of us. So we can
okay.
each we'll pick a same game. We'll do like a 4-leg. I get to pick 2 legs. You get to pick 2 legs. And we both throw like $5 on it. If it hits, then we're doing it as a unit. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, I dig it.
I think we'll make a little fun little video with it or something. But
I dig
uh,
it.
dude, it'll be fun. Betting more to come this week. I am gonna. I promise I will be better with betting.
I got locked in with the logins as well, so I'll be able to post my MLB bets a little more often. It'll be a little bit more smooth. Again, we're still working out the kinks, so
Yeah.
but this should be a little bit of a better week.
Yeah, it'll be easier now that you have it because I've been posting literally everything. So Matt will just send me a video with MLB bets. He's like, "Post this right now," and I'm in the middle of work. I'm like, "Dude, I don't have time." So it
Yeah,
sometimes doesn't work out. So now that he has the login, so he can just do it on his end, it'll be a lot easier for posting at least the betting. I mean, we have content. We meet up once a week for content, and we just spread it out through the whole week. But the betting we do one a day. So we're trying to do one a day of betting and then one of our content videos. So we're trying to post two a day. Hopefully we'll get to that point, but it's still a new
work in
process.
progress.
Still a lot to do. But dude, the NFL. Not too much crazy news in terms of like what's going on in the league. I mean, there's a
Yeah, it's a
couple
light
good
week.
things, but there's a lot of shit that's going on outside the league that doesn't even pertain with brothers, players that used to be in the NFL. That's just been crazy, dude. So I just wanted to hit a couple before we go into the media part. First things first, Cam Newton says the only reason he is not with a team is of his dreads. I just want to see what your thoughts are.
I mean, it's just a joke at this point, to be honest with you.
My
I
question is, why say anything? Why not just cut him? Just cut him, and then we'll see if you get picked up.
I mean, that's a good point you make. I just, he's been given his due diligence, and I
With all
think the
these
Cam Newton
randoms in the league,
experience is, I think it's over.
all these
He's,
randoms.
I don't think he's any better than any of the starters right now. I mean, you could argue he could be maybe a backup, but even then, we've seen it. It's just, it's over.
My favorite thing
I don't like it.
was my favorite thing is when he got re-signed to Carolina, scored on the Cardinals, and said, "I'm back," and
Yeah,
then literally just proceeded to suck. Yeah,
sucked it up the entire season after
we'll see
that.
how he goes. Maybe he'll be a bench spot somewhere. I agree. I don't think there's anybody in the league I wouldn't take over Cam Newton. Or I
Yeah,
would. No, wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't take over Cam Newton.
I think the Newton experiment is over. He just needs to take his pride and
Yeah.
just walk off into the sunset.
Speaking of specimens, Jackson Mahomes charged
That's a
with
hell of a
three.
specimen.
Yeah, it's a specimen. He was charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault, battery, and a misdemeanor of battery. He was released the same day after posting a $100,000 bond. We know where that money came from. We don't need to talk about where the money came from, but
The
how much of a
distractions.
scumbag? How much of a scumbag is this guy? I mean, you know how much questioning now that we're going to OTAs, Patrick Mahomes is probably going to get on this. Like, it's him, Brittany, dude. They just distract. I don't want to talk about Patrick Mahomes because he pissed me off because of what happened last season. He destroyed my fucking hopes and dreams. But I mean, it's a big distraction when your wife and your brother are just crazy, like just crazy. Like I don't know if it's a fame thing, like it gets to their heads or whatever it is. Think they can do whatever they want.
I
But
think it's partly that, but
there's a
yeah,
there's a there's a
it's.
photo of it too. I don't know if you saw that.
I think I saw the video of it
Or
too.
yeah, there's a video. I saw the photo
Yeah,
that's from the video. Yeah. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens with him. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know if anything's going to happen. I don't
I
know.
doubt it. I
I
mean, I can see them, doing a settlement and
I
just
think the
moving on.
and I think the crazy thing was it wasn't really that much talked about. I feel like that's a big deal, bro. Especially when there's video footage of homie doing it.
Yeah, it is, but it's not. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works in that world, but uh, a little bigger news than that is your boy Nick Foles. He ended up getting released by the Colts, so it was nice knowing you, soldier.
They found a better quarterback, I guess.
I mean, yeah, do they. I mean, they have Minshew, and then they drafted Richardson, so I see why they made the move. But do you think Foles hooks on elsewhere?
I mean, he's old now. I think he's like 29 or 30. That's old for a quarterback.
I would
So
think he's older than that. You think?
maybe. Oh, no, I think he's like 32. He was 29 when he came back to Philly. So I think he's like 32, 33. I don't know, dude. Let me look before I
I
get too
mean,
crazy. But, I
he
mean,
could be a
needless to say,
backup somewhere.
yeah. I mean, needless to say, I miss him. He's my boy.
I don't.
He's 34.
34. So he's on the tail end of his career. Um, I don't see a team that's immediate, desperately needs a backup quarterback, but I hope he hooks on elsewhere before he wraps it up.
Yeah, I think he'll probably get picked up when someone gets hurt. Is probably going to be my guess. Or he can come to Washington. We could just send all of the Eagles ex quarterbacks over there if you want.
Yeah,
You,
honestly,
you wouldn't want Nick Foles?
I wouldn't mind any quarterback at this point in time.
I
I'm
thought
I'm
you were
cool with rolling with Sammy Howell, but
Daddy
we
Howell.
need a little backup. We need a little backup
Who
plan.
is your backup? Do you even know?
Um, there was because Heineke's out. That's a great question.
Yeah, because Heineke's with the Buccaneers, I
No, he
believe.
is with the Falcons.
Oh, Falcons. Yeah, not Buccaneers. I knew it was a red team.
Uh, let's take a look at their roster.
I mean, because if
Oh, Jacoby Brissett is our backup. Honestly,
nice,
I'm not mad about it.
okay, you
Not
you
bad
can
about
just
it.
stay there with your quarterbacks. We won't go too much into your quarterbacks. The other thing, as an Eagles fan, I wanted to bring up was Debo Samuel came out and said the only reason they lost is because they were only playing with 10 people. What are your thoughts on this?
Um, Irrelevant.
I have a thing. Every time I've talked to a 49ers fan, I get it. The whole offense thing. I understand. If you want to say that's the only reason, sure. But we still put up 31 points on this elite defense. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. We still I mean, I'm not saying that we couldn't have lost because they could have if they had a quarterback. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if they thought they were the best team, our offense put 31 on them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think his comments are relevant at all. I think he's trying to reach for something that's not there. But
They just
they
want
were
the
just
Eagles fans
the
riled up.
worst team on that day. That's how the story goes. Shit happens. I think he just needs
It's
to.
unfortunate. I wanted a good game to come out of it.
Oh yeah, I think he just needs to take it and
They're
run.
just still talking about it, bro. They just. I
Yeah,
feel like every
it's time
week.
to move on.
I feel like every week I see a post of somebody talking about that game from their side. I don't think Philly only talks about it when they talk about it. It's just kind of ridiculous at this point. I think. A couple smaller things. Andy Dalton to start for the Panthers. So Bryce Young, as of right now, is not the starter. We'll see how that changes when the Red Rocket probably ultimately throws 1,000 picks next year. And then other one is the Browns signed Rodney McLeod. Pretty good pick right there. That's my boy. I miss him. But yeah, dude. I mean, it is what
Couple
it is.
extensions as well. We had Dexter Lawrence agreed on an extension for 4 years, 90 million with the Giants. The Jets and Quinton Williams are in talks currently, but it's sounding like they're close on an extension. So I would expect to hear about that within the next couple week or two.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Also, I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but I can't remember when this happened. But Adam Troutman from the Saints got traded to the Broncos, so there's another tight end in Denver there.
Who's their? Don't they still have Noah Font?
No, Noah Font went to the Seahawks with the
Oh
Russell
yeah,
Wilson
with the
trade.
trade with the Russell Wilson
They
trade. So
had
they had
Albert O
yeah,
and Greg Dulcich.
yeah. I mean, not bad for him. He'll be a good
Troutman
tight
will
end.
help. Troutman will help.
Yeah.
Um, one thing that I think dropped today was Zach Ertz came out and said that he was almost traded to the Bills in 2021. He said it was pretty much a done deal, and for some reason it just fell through. But can you imagine, like, if Ertz had gone to the Bills in 2021, how loaded that offense would have been?
Dude, they probably would have. They could have made it. I mean, Knox isn't bad.
He's not bad, but Ertz has way better hands.
Yeah, Arteta's way better hands. Exactly. I mean, Dalton Knox or not? Yeah, Knox has made some pretty nuts catches. I mean, not saying that. I think Zach Ertz is still better. Zach Ertz is still one of the better tight ends in the league.
He's much more polished.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming from an offense with Philly that he was the main target in Philly. Then going to Arizona, they had more weapons with D Hop and other people like that. He wasn't used as much, but I mean, he would probably have been good matched up with Gabe Davis and uh, Stephon Diggs. I think that would have been a pretty solid offense there. I mean, who knows, dude? Zach Ertz is probably on his last leg, though. Love the guy. He's my man.
Is he still in Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he
this
needs
is
to
the
get the
last
hell out
year.
of there.
I think he had a 2-year contract. I'm pretty sure. So I think this is the last one of the year, or this is his last year, and then either he's gonna probably retire or go somewhere else. Maybe come back to Philly. What do you think about that, Zach?
Maybe he'll
Zach,
go to Washington.
Zach, if this ever reaches your thing, it probably won't. But if it ever does, just come back. That's all I gotta say. Just come back.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking. Cool, dude. I mean, now time to get into the beefy part.
Yeah, let's run into it.
Let's
before we get there, pause. Let's just bring up the one last little tidbit of NFL news that's kind of big. So there's talks, there's rumors. Brady may back out of his deal with the TV.
Yes.
So there's talks of him turning the TV deal down and quitting that. Do you think that possibly means coming out of retirement?
Oh yeah, dude. There's no way. I mean, he was. I mean, but it's kind of ridiculous because he was going to get paid more to be a commentator than a quarterback.
Yeah.
But
that was a lot of money.
I remember I did read a couple of reports of that saying that he would just be backing out and all this stuff, and I was like, dang, if that's the case,
could you imagine? I mean, there's a few teams that I think
is he
would,
still
would
is he
jump
still
at
stuck
it.
with is he still stuck with the Bucks though?
I don't believe so.
Oh, really?
As far as I know, I can't confirm that unless I look it up. But let's say for sake of argument that he's not stuck with the Bucks. Miami, if Tua's not healthy, San Fran.
He's going to San Fran for sure.
I mean, there's a couple places. I think that the Raiders would take him.
And Jimmy G, bro. They got his predecessor.
I don't think they care. I think they'd make him his predecessor again.
I don't think much teams would care.
I don't think so.
Unless you have a franchise quarterback, you have like this guy, you're like, yeah, he could be the starter this year. Like, pretty much they're all, Tom Brady.
I mean, I think they'd take a gamble on him. I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up. I He could. He could now. I think they've settled the tampering stuff from whenever it was. Ideally, I think he could. I think that's his spot that he would want to go to. It's between that, San Francisco, maybe one or two other places, but I would say those are the top two spots.
That'd be interesting. I'm excited to see how that happens because if he does it again, bro. I mean, last time he retired, so the first time I was like, I sent my post on Facebook. I said, it was a pleasure watching you all these years, whatever. And then he came back out, and I was like, you know what? Fuck this guy. I'm not going to do that again. So then he retired again, and I didn't share a goddamn thing because I was like, he's going to do it again. And if he does it again, I'm going to be pissed. Because don't retire. Yeah, I get it. If you do it once, that's fine. If you do it once, that's fine. Because plenty of people have done that. But if you do it more than once, piece of shit. Okay? Pissing me off. We'll see, though. I mean, he said he was done for good, but he said that last time, so...
You never know with the guy. Who knows?
You never know. I mean,
and now that Rodgers is out of Green Bay and with the Jets, I think that Brady may want to come back and just, you know what? If Brady came back and went to the Patriots again? That would be crazy to have Brady and Rodgers in the same division going against each other. That would be fucking crazy. Could you imagine Brady back to the Patriots? I doubt it, but that would be insane.
Dude, the NFL, since it's scripted, they got to figure this out.
Well, and you think about it. I mean, Brady always wants a top 5, top 10 defense. Patriots have that right now. Um, you could argue San Fran has that, but I mean, that would be crazy. Him and
Dude,
Rodgers in the same division.
I like that.
That would be crazy.
And dude, watch an NFL writer come in here and they hear this, they're like, wait
Hey,
a minute,
yo.
wait a minute. Then they make a few phone calls to good old Roger, and then
then honestly, at that point, he could retire as a Patriot the way that I think it should be.
that's
But
true. Where he needs to go. Where he needs to go.
yeah, I mean that's my thought. That'd be a fun division to watch it if Brady and Rodgers were both there.
They haven't retired Brady's jersey. I mean, they
And you think
probably
about it, I
will.
mean Josh Allen's there too.
That would be
That's
fun.
that's
That's
a
a
crazy
fun
division. That's a
That's a fun
crazy division.
And you
Because
got the
who
Dolphins.
else? Yeah, Dolphins. So Tua,
But you got Tyreek
but
and Jalen
Tyreek
Waddle
and Waddle, yeah, that's
and Moser,
crazy.
and then Gasecki, the gritty master.
Actually, I don't think Gasecki's on the. I think he's on the Patriots
No.
now.
No, he's not. Is he?
Yes, he is. I think he is. I want to say I saw that he was on the Patriots.
He is on the Patriots. You
Boom.
scumbag. He's number 0. Actually, he's playing as number
Is
0.
he?
I didn't know tight ends could play 0.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So Mike Gesicki is now with the Patriots.
Dang, dude. Now I want Brady to come back just for that reason.
That'd be crazy. So
That would be
that
crazy.
it's gonna be a fun development to watch. So we'll keep an eye on it and keep you guys updated if we hear anything.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. All right, now
Let's
get to the
move
good
into
stuff.
it. Yeah, let's get into it.
Keeper League. We've been doing this. Well, Matt, how long have you been in this Keeper League?
I've been in this keeper league for quite a few years. I mean, the exact number on it, I can't say, but at least probably 2017, 2018, somewhere around there.
Oh, so not too far from me, because I've been in the league this will be my 4th season in the league.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
So if you do 4 seasons from now, that would be 2018. So did you start the year before me?
No, I think I was in a few before you, as far as I know, but let me check.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the league for about, this is, like I said, 4th season. Let me run down the story of how I was invited to this, because it's some BS, let me tell you.
Listen, it's not my fault. Things happen the way they did.
It is your fault. Matt tells me about this Keeper League that he's doing. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like the sound of that, whatever. And he's like, yeah, with how it works, you'll be taking over this guy's team. He has Dalvin Cook. You could keep Dalvin Cook. And I said, absolutely. This was when Dalvin Cook was an absolute stud, putting up monster numbers, and he was just an all-around beast. I was like, all right, perfect. I'm in. Whatever, we sign in. We're good. I'm getting the invite. And then maybe a few days later, he's like, oh, that guy that had Dalvin Cook, he's actually going to stay. There's another guy leaving. There's another one. He has Patrick Mahomes. And I was like, oh, even better. Hell yeah, let me get Patrick Mahomes. Perfect, whatever. Good to go. I thought I was all good and solid to go. Next thing you know, a couple days later, Matthew, this guy, texts me, hey, the guy with Patrick Mahomes is staying, but there is someone for sure leaving that you'll take over for. I was like, who's his star player? This guy had the audacity to tell me Josh Jacobs.
Hey, it would have worked out well for you this year.
Yeah, this year, not 3 years ago. So I stuck with it. I kept Josh Jacobs. That's the only person I kept. I don't remember what I kept him for. Maybe like a 4th or a 3rd round pick. I think I won 2 games that season. I did absolutely awful.
Oh yeah, you were dog shit.
The following season, I decided to draft a whole new squad. I was like, you know what? Nope, not doing it. I am drafting a full new team. Everybody on that team's dead to me. Then I did okay. I did middle of the pack. I think I didn't make the playoffs. I was like one game off from making the playoffs. Then I so that was season 2. Season 3 was last year. So then, yes, this last season, I was like, okay, I have a better team, and I'll kind of go into who I kept once we get to our keeper section, and then yeah, we are where we're at now.
Okay, so I did join in 2017, so that
So
is
he's right, a
confirmed.
year before I did.
2 years.
I did 2018, bro.
Not in this keeper league.
2018.
I'm pretty sure.
I've been in the league 3 seasons. This is my 4th season. So is that 2019? Whatever. Who cares? Maybe
We
2019.
didn't even know each other in 2018.
Yeah, we did.
No,
Really?
I thought it was 20 because I didn't even start Lotus until like 2019, 2018.
No, because I went to NAU in 2018, so it was probably the
Exactly. That's my point
beginning.
because we didn't know each other.
Okay, so 2019 then.
So yeah, I think you joined
2019.
20. It was either 2019 or 2020.
No, it wasn't COVID. It
No,
was
I
the year
think it
before.
was.
It was the year before COVID because we still worked at Lotus, and I didn't work at Lotus during
Oh, you're
COVID.
right. You're right. You're right.
I'm crazy.
Okay.
All right.
So there we
Yeah,
go.
there we go. We figured it out. I've been in the league. This will be my 4th season. This is Matt's 6th season in the league. Basic rules of our keeper league. This is kind of our main league. I think we've said this on every podcast. This is the league this is the league. This is the
This is
league
the
that
league we live and die for.
we live and die for. We usually do. I think what do we do? $100 buy-in, $50
Yeah.
buy-in, hundred
Yeah.
dollar
No,
something.
I think we did $100 this year.
100. Oh yeah, I mean you would remember. But it's
Damn straight I would.
All right, yeah, go fuck yourself. Standard PPR league. We do have some bonuses and stuff, which Matt has. What are our bonuses? Do you have them all up next to you?
Okay, so it's a little hectic. So I'll go slow, follow along. But basically, we have all the standard stuff, but we did modify it a little bit as well. So I'll just kind of go down the list. As far as quarterbacks go, each completion is point 0.1. Passing yards are 25 yards per point. 3 points at 300 yards, 4 points at 400 yards, 5 at 500 yards.
Additional to what they threw.
Correct.
Yes.
Passing touchdowns are, of course, 6. Interceptions are -2 instead of -1. Each time they take a sack, we do subtract a point. So normally it's 0, but we do -1 for each sack. That's up in the air. We're still thinking about changing that one, but we haven't decided yet. So
I like it. I like when you have a good quarterback that does absolutely awful. They have negative points. You're just like, yes, absolutely.
yeah,
But
I
it
like
ruins
it
your
too.
day. It ruins your day when you look at your stats and your
Your
quarterback going into
star
halftime has
quarterback is
-2 points.
or 3 points.
Yeah, something awful.
So going down to running backs now, rushing attempts are again 0.1 each. It's 10 yards per point, and then 3 points at 100 yards, 4 at 150, 5 at 200. Touchdown 6, of course. Full PPR, so each reception is 1. Receiving yards are the same as rushing yards, so 10, per point. 3 points at 100 yards, 4 at 200 yards, and 5 at 300 yards. Return yards. We do have return yards in our league, so that is kind of a game changer. So that's kind of something to keep in mind. Return yards are 10 yards per point, so I mean that's a significant amount. Let's say if they get 50 yards, that's another 5 points right on top of what they already do on the offensive side of the ball. So
There's
return
not really that
touchdowns.
many though that you
There's a
like.
few.
There's a few, but there's not. It's kind of hard. So if you do get one of those ones, it usually helps a lot. But there's not a lot of star players that are doing punt
No,
returns
yeah,
due to the injury aspect of it. So
yeah.
Your running backs maybe like your backup running backs or your flexes might do it, but your star players, no.
So other than that, return touchdown 6, 2 point conversions are 2 points, fumbles lost are -2. Um, Pick sixes that are thrown, they're -6. So that's pretty hefty, negative. So here's the additional bonuses that we have as well. The 40-yard completions. So like if a quarterback throws a 45-yard pass, it's going to be 2 extra points on top of their original
4 points,
points.
4.5 points.
Yep. So, and then 40-yard passing touchdowns. So if it's a 45-yard passing touchdown, that's 3 extra points. Same thing with for runs and receptions. So each run or each reception would be 2, and each touchdown would be 3. So that's a potential extra 5 points per bonus if they get a touchdown. So. Other than that, we do have receiving first downs and rushing first downs. Those are both 0.25. And then your typical field goal stuff. I won't get into too much of the other crazy scoring that we have. Most of the other stuff is pretty standard. There's a few that are kind of a little different, but I won't crazy deep dive into those.
Yeah, our slots are pretty similar to your average league. The only thing that we do a little bit different in this league is we do one defensive player, so any player in the league, and then we have to have, or we do two linebackers. We just do a normal flex, so your wide receiver, running back, tight end. So there are some points for IDPs for interceptions. I believe I think there's like 2 points for interception or something like
Yeah.
that. And
So here's defensive players: is one tackle solo is a point, a tackle assist is 0.5, a sack is 2, interception is actually 3, forced fumble is 2, a fumble recovery is 2, a touchdown is 6, safety would be 2 points, a defended pass is 1, a blocked kick is 3, a tackle for loss is 1, and turnover return yards is 10 yards per point.
so, and then I think if so, like your corner that you had,
Mm-hmm.
didn't he return the ball? So you got points extra on top of it.
That was kind of something I was going to touch on a little later too.
Oh,
I'll,
okay.
I'll deep dive a little more into him, but basically he was a cornerback for the Patriots that he played defense, he played special teams, and he played some offense too. So I would get him recording maybe 6 tackles, an interception. He'd get a touchdown. He'd get like 2 receptions on offense for like 40 yards and like some return yards too. So this guy was scoring me like star quarterback points in a defensive player spot. So
It
um,
was so annoying.
there's a couple of those guys that you could find out there, some hybrid players that are going to help you out like that. But yeah, I mean he was a unicorn. So
A unicorn. He's a
yeah,
peacock. You gotta let me
you
fly.
gotta let me fly.
So yeah, for the people that don't know what a keeper league is, we have explained it in our previous podcast, but we'll just kind of say it again. Essentially, it's just a standard league, just a yearly basis, but it's a kind of an ongoing league. So every year you can keep up to 2 players, whatever you keep them at. So say I draft a player in the 6th round. And I decide to keep them. I have to give up a 5th round of next year for them. And then the only other rule is you cannot take any 1st round players because obviously that's just unfair. I mean, who you take on top of a 1st round? So, but if you want to take a 2nd round for the 1st round pick, that's totally fine. So, like I said before, my keepers have been pretty bad this last season. I had a really good keeper. I drafted Jalen Hurts 2 years ago. So yeah, not this season. The season before, 10th round. So this last season, I was able to keep him for a ninth. I will be keeping him again. I'm not even thinking about it. So I will be keeping him now for an 8th eighth round pick, which is phenomenal for Jalen Hurts. I mean, he's putting up numbers like when you would draft Patrick Mahomes in the second, third round. So, and then my other keeper that I've had was Jamar Chase. I kept him 2 years ago for a seventh. So this last season, or no, 2 seasons ago, drafted him in the seventh, kept him for a sixth. So if I want him again this year, I'll keep him for a fifth. That's pretty high odds for me. I'm not sure quite yet if I want to keep him. I think I might for just that kind of value, but we will see. How has your league been? How are your people doing?
They've been all right. So my keepers last year disappointed. I drafted Jonathan Taylor 2 years ago. I kept him for his crazy year last year. For I believe it was a fourth round or
Yeah, I think
fifth
so.
round pick. And I kept him again this year, but that didn't pay off for me. Of course, he had a down year. My other keeper was Justin Herbert. He's been my keeper for the last 2 years as well. As you know, he's played. My name is centered around Justin Herbert, so I'm gonna have to figure out a new name this year.
Because he
Um,
cannot. Oh yeah, we didn't say that. You can only
yeah,
keep
I
him for two
can't keep
years.
him.
So you can keep him for a total of 3 years because the year you drafted him, and then keep him for 2 years. So you can have him for 3 years, but after that,
Back on the board.
back on the board for grabs. But you can draft him. So if he falls to you, you can draft him again.
Yeah,
But you
you just
cannot
can't
keep
keep
him.
him.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I had a good season last season. As you know, I did walk away with the victory. So, um,
Yeah,
a
I know.
couple of my players that did really well were Devonte Adams had some good games, but he also had some shit games for me. Travis Etienne came on towards the back half of the season for me. Marcus Jones was that defensive player on the Patriots that helped me out a ton. Amon-Ra St. Brown was a steady rock for me. And my team MVP, last but not least, Travis Kelsey. I mean, the guy was a positional advantage every week. He was a steady 20 point, rock that I could lean on. So he was easily my team MVP. Basically, rode him to the championship. I had a couple really good performances from others, but it's hard to keep him out. Some disappointments that I had obviously were Justin Herbert. I ended up benching him towards the back half of the season for Jared Goff. Jared Goff was kind of lighting it up for me, so I kept him in the lineup. And Jonathan Taylor was a big disappointment for me. I also had Christian Watson, who was kind of a surprise pick for me. He did really well, but now that Rodgers is leaving, I don't know if I trust him with Jordan Love. The rest of my team, I mean, it wasn't really flashy. It got the job done, but
You look at his team. I'll say this: you look at his team, and you're like, "How did he win?" Like compared to my team wasn't all that, but I had some flashy players on my team, and just I guess I gotta say I got second place. Sadly, I lost in the championship to Matthew. I was pretty pissed because. Yeah, I just didn't. No one wanted Matt to because I think didn't you win the year before too?
I did. So I this is
You're
my
back to
back to
back.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, so but it's gonna change now that you can't keep what Kelsey and Herbert,
No, I can keep Kelsey if I want to,
but
but
it'd be a first round.
he'd cost me my first round pick because I drafted him in the second round last year.
I mean, he's a 10th round. I mean, he's a first round go anyways.
That's why I was thinking he might be my keeper this year, at least one of them.
Yeah. Some people on my team. So I like I said before, I kept Jalen Hurts for a ninth, and I kept Jamar Chase for a sixth. First round overall, I think I got him seventh pick. I got Justin Jefferson, so him and Jamar Chase paired up very well, and then it shot back to me. I think third pick in the second round. I really wasn't too happy with some or with a lot of the backs in the second round. I just was like, man, I could get better value lower. So I was like, you know what? We have a flex spot. I'm gonna run three wide receivers this season. So my wide receiver trio was Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Tyreek Hill. Those guys absolutely carried me, paired with Jalen Hurts in the back end of the season. Um, Hill was kind of a hit or miss. Chase was a kind of hit or miss. Jefferson typically was pretty good for me. Overall, team was very solid. I did lack in the running back department. My running backs were Raheem Mostert and Michael Carter, which were not very good. I mean, I had some backups. I had Damian Harris, Samaj Pirine, just not your typical star backs. It paid out though. Like I got second place. I didn't get any points from the either way. Before I say this, Matt would have whooped me anyways. I think I was down by like 80 points, and I had two players left. But the two players I did have left, or the one that really would have made a difference, was Jamar Chase. That game was unfortunately canceled due to the whole thing in Buffalo. Uh, it didn't really matter for fantasy for me. I would have lost regardless. I actually lost in two leagues because of that. One was legit. One was like if he would have played, I would have won, which kind of sucks. But this other one, our keeper league, there was really nothing I can do. I had Kittle as my tight end, and then I had some other people. I had Kareem Hunt. I had Hayden Hurst. I did actually in the beginning of the season, and one of our buddies was pretty pissed off that I got him. I got Patrick Mahomes in like the 6th round. It was pretty. People were pretty mad because I already had Jalen Hurts. But ultimately, I knew just based off of the season, really depending on how Jalen Hurts was going to play. Obviously, the Eagles were looking really good on paper, but we didn't really know how he was going to perform based off of the last season. So I was like, okay, I'll keep Mahomes on the back burner. I saw Patrick Mahomes' first like 3 or 4 games, and not Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts' first 3 or 4 games. I was like, yeah, Jalen Hurts is going to be my starter. I'd rather get rid of Mahomes for him. I really wasn't looking for much. I was realistically looking for just some running back help to kind of help my guys. Excuse me. So I ended up trading Patrick Mahomes. I do regret the trade because I feel like I could have gotten more out of it. But I got Clyde's Edward-Helaire and Jahan Dotson. I was really high on Washington at the beginning of the season. With Carson Wentz, I just had a weird feeling like Carson Wentz, this is his bounce back year. Everyone's going to be like, dang, this is Carson Wentz. They got, their running backs. They got new running backs, Terry and Jahan Dotson. I thought they were just going to be overall really good team. Not so much. I mean, they did good. I mean, we all did good. You guys fell off the back half of the season, but Carson Wentz just wasn't it.
No.
Which that Mahomes trade really hurt me because Clyde's Edward-Helaire 2 weeks later got hurt. I think it was an ACL out for the season, and then Jahan Dotson, he got 136 points.
I don't think Edwards-Helaire even got hurt. I think Pacheco was starting to take over
No, I'm
the
pretty sure.
offense. No, he was starting to take over the offense before he even got hurt. They
Oh,
started
right.
they started to just slowly fade him out of the offense, and then he got hurt.
Right. But he still got hurt. That's what I mean. Then that just ultimately screwed me because Clyde Edward-Helaire was still getting goal line work. He was still getting touchdowns. So, but it is what it is. I'll take that one on the chin. I could have gotten. I forgot what that trade was. What was my other trade? It was like
Well,
Swift and Fournette or something.
yeah, it was something like that. It was from Rios, but
Yeah.
you and I made the trade for Kareem Hunt. I gave away Kareem Hunt because he was just dog shit for me. So
And who did I give you?
you gave me Jimmy G because I was hurting
Oh,
for
you were hurting for a
I was
quarterback.
hurting for a quarterback for
That
my
wasn't
bye
a
week.
that wasn't a, and Kareem Hunt was one of those. Yeah, he was not very good. I mean that Browns team. I mean I don't even remember how Nick Chubb did, but I don't think he did phenomenal
I mean
either.
he had a great overall season, but I think just they were giving too many touches to Kareem Hunt and taking
Yeah.
away from him. So
My biggest W for the season, obviously Jalen Hurts I mean, not only just of how well he did, but also for a 9th round pick, and I will be keeping him for an 8th round pick. Last year in our fantasy league, he ended me with 456 points on the season. So I mean, he was just absolutely solid. He would have gotten even more if Gardner or if he didn't get hurt and we benched him for those last like 2 or 3 games. Um, so Jalen Hurts, absolutely stud. I mean, Justin Jefferson, Hill, and Chase were all really good. Those were that was my squad. My biggest disappointment, I've already said, the Mahomes or for the Mahomes trade, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Dotson. Dotson didn't really do much. I was kind of wanting him because I didn't know how Hill was going to do with the whole. This trade was after the whole Tua injury, so I didn't really know how the Dolphins were going to be looking without Tua. So I was like, okay, let's get another guy. Dotson was going to be. He was looking really good beginning of the
Hey,
season. Everyone was really high hopes on him.
he had quite a bit of touchdowns, but yeah, just the inconsistent quarterback play just hurt his season.
Yeah. So those are mine. My things. I'm very excited for this next season, especially with my keepers. I mean, I'm going to be able to keep the same two again. I am drafting ninth overall, so I might even. No, I can't even do that. No, I think Jason hurts. I mean, if Hill or someone Cooper Cup falls to me, the trio we'll be rebuilding our trio. So, um, I am very high this season, and this is not just goes for this league. This just goes overall in fantasy on wide receivers. I feel like there's going to be a lot more passing than we've seen. Besides your big names like your CMCs, your Jonathan Taylors, Derrick Henrys, Aaron Joneses. Uh, Overall, I think there's going to be a lot more passing in the league with all these new talents at wide receiver. So I'm very high on wide receivers. I'm usually more heavy on running backs. That's how I've played the past couple years. It's won me in a couple good leagues with running backs. But ever since last season I was very high on wide receivers and all across the board. I think I got Justin Jefferson in a bunch of my leagues. I got Chase. I got a bunch of wide receivers in a bunch of my leagues. So I'm very high on wide receivers, and I don't see how that won't be my method going into this next season.
That's fair enough. I'm still pretty high on running backs. I think that the value is going to drop, significantly after the second round. But again, I agree with you. I think it's going to become a very pass heavy league. Um, we're going to see a lot more value in the later rounds for receivers. It's going to be a lot more of a deeper draft for them. But I think running backs and tight ends are going to continue to come off the board early. And then receivers you'll see drop into the mid rounds.
The reason why it's even bigger is we play a full PPR. So wide receivers play a big part in that because they're catching the ball points per reception.
That's correct.
Some of the running backs will be big, like your Aaron Joneses, your Saquons, people like that get dump passes off. Those will probably be pretty high in ours compared to other leagues, just due to the fact that we take into consideration the PPR. So, and most leagues are PPR. A lot of people do half PPR. I mean, it just really depends on who your commissioner is. I've always played full PPR. I don't think I've ever played in a half PPR league, just because. Why? I've always liked full PPR.
Yeah, I'll stick with full PPR. I hate doing half PPR. It doesn't make sense to me. Not a fan of it, but
we do use the Yahoo app too, so
yeah.
I guess we can. I mean, all of our
I
leagues are.
Me personally, I think Yahoo is easily the best fantasy app there is. I've tried Sleeper. It's okay. I don't think it's crazy. But ESPN's like lower on the list, and then anything outside of those three is just garbage. So
I have my list goes Yahoo and then everybody else, bro. Like
yeah,
I never tried
Yahoo's
Sleeper.
easy.
I don't want to. I don't know Sleeper. I know that was a big one. That came out last year, right?
Yeah, it was either last year or the year before, but it got big last year.
Yeah.
I tried it out. It works really well. I mean, it's just it takes some getting used to, and it's just set up differently. I'm not crazy about it, but
Yeah. ESPN, I hate ESPN. Like that's probably bottom tier. Mostly bottom tier.
CBS is down there.
CBS, I was kind of explaining to these guys the other day about how CBS works. I don't know if this was just my league or if it was overall just how CBS works, but it locks your players in Saturday before the game start. So I think like at 8 a.m., if the game started at 10, 8 a.m., it locks your players, which is just ridiculous because injuries can happen, stuff can happen like right before, or they can say it's a healthy scratch and they're not playing, and I don't have time to adjust my lineup. I like when it's live action. If you have your team in before 10, like 9:59, you do a switch, you're good. So that was kind of annoying because I had Josh Jacobs. This was years ago. I had Josh Jacobs and he got turf toe right before the game started. So I was like, oh, I need to switch him out. And then I seen that I couldn't, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Whatever. I did not like. It could have been the league commissioner. I don't really know. It was my brother-in-law invited me to it, so it just overall wasn't a great experience. I didn't really care for it too much, and it was for a lot of money. I think that was $100 buy-in as well. So it was just kind of disheartening to play in that. So who knows? Maybe there'll be one to top Yahoo, but as of right now, Yahoo is the top one for me.
Before we move on, a few of my keeper targets that I was talking about before. I actually kind of want some help with this. So if you have any thoughts, or you think I should go in a certain direction, drop it down in the comments. I could use some direction on this, but Travis Kelce is easily probably going to be one of my picks. I would keep him to the 10th overall pick, so I would still get the turnaround pick at the back end there for the second round. So I could still get a quality player there. But I was thinking either Travis Etienne. He would end up being a second round pick. I think that's a little high, but I think he could have a good year. Amon Ra, I was thinking, could be one of my picks. I'd be able to keep him for a fifth round. So that's not too bad of a deal. And then I was also thinking Marcus Jones, that defensive player that does get the offensive snaps and the return, points. Because
Dude,
I
I'm gonna
could
be honest.
keep him real low. So
Yeah, I'm gonna be real honest with you with him. If you don't pick him up, I don't think a single one of us are gonna remember him.
you don't think so?
Even that we've been speaking about him, I guarantee you, come draft day, I'm not gonna remember. I'm not.
I would pray, but I don't know. I feel like good old Timmy Menendez over there would probably remember something like that.
We know you're listening, Tim. So
We know
don't
you're
do it.
there. Yeah, don't take my boy.
He's gonna take him, and then he's gonna take his boy Cordell Patterson, baby.
Yeah, back to back
That's
picks, baby.
back to back picks, the last two in the draft. Um, yeah, that guy Tim is a character for sure with his picks. It's great though.
It
It
adds
works
to
well for
the.
him. He's always in the middle of the pack, high middle pack. I mean, he's usually doing pretty. I
He's
don't know what
usually
he
up
did
there.
last year. I don't know what he did last year, so I can't
I
say
think
that. But
I think last year was a down year for him, but he's always up there. He somehow has the ugliest teams, but somehow just destroys everybody. I mean, let's see if I can find what he had last year,
yeah,
just to kind of
I
give you a
have him
little
right
bit of an
here.
idea.
What
Wasn't
was his
he was
name?
he was donkey lippers, so he
Yes.
he had Tom Brady, Stephon Diggs, Jalen Waddle, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, T.J. Hawkinson, Cordell Patterson.
Oh, and he kept him for an 18th. What
Yep,
the fuck?
yep. Tony Pollard, Taysom Hill, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Russell Wilson, Justin Tucker, Brett Maher, New York defense, Buffalo defense, Michael Thomas. I mean, his team honestly really wasn't that bad this year.
Now that I'm looking at it, it really wasn't.
He had
I
a
really wish we could
few
pull.
weird picks, but like his team overall was pretty good.
I wish we could pull up his last year one, dude.
Oh, I know.
I might as well look through some of these
Or
guys' teams.
let me just say, like 3 years ago, holy fuck, we were looking at some crazy ass picks there. But overall,
So
yeah, not a bad draft for you this year, Tim. I liked it.
let's see. Now time to look. Okay, Jeremy's team he had T. Lawrence, Mike Williams, CD, Rashad White, Rashad
Rashad,
White. Yeah, I
Rashad,
know. I knew it was Rashad, but I didn't see how the spelling was. Kenneth Walker, Tyler Higbee, Jamal Williams, Gerald Everett, Najee Harris, Alexander Madison. Alexander Madison isn't bad. Same with it was P Ryan, but whoever backs up Joe Mixon. Sometimes those late picks for those backup running backs aren't bad because of the injuries. It's pretty good with when you know a player might be out. 2 to 3 games this season. I mean, it might be good
Yeah,
to snag some of those players and just keep them on your bench.
especially if you have somebody in the early rounds like a Dalvin Cook, and you have an Alexander Madison in the later rounds that he's still on the draft board. It's always nice to just grab him to handcuff yourself. That way, nobody can grab those and screw you over on a week where somebody may be sitting and you need that spot start. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I we could kind of go into what our thought process is on the one for this. So I don't know if obviously our viewership on the very first podcast was very low, but we are planning on doing a league for this podcast. If you guys, we're gonna create some sort of way. I think there's a way I've looked into it to do a raffle for 8 people. We'll do a 10-man league, full PPR for someone to join with the league, and then we can kind of move along and kind of tell that story. So kind of throughout the season, we could talk about our main league, our keeper league, and then the league that is going on in the podcast and how everybody's doing.
yeah,
But we kind of need some input on how people want it done. We are totally fine with just a standard PPR with regular flex. We don't want double quarterbacks. We don't want super flexes. We don't
yeah,
want. I think that's realistically all I personally don't want. I don't like double quarterback leagues. I think they're
it's a little
so
much.
heavy. They're
Yeah,
so heavy on quarterbacks that it's like none of the other people I feel like even matter. Because if you have 2 stud quarterbacks that put up 60 points a game, 50 points a game, it's just like, whoa, what are
yeah.
we doing here? Um,
We probably won't do a keeper league for this one just because
mm,
we'll probably turn over each team each year. Unless, of course, you do win, then we'll keep you in the league for the next year.
yes.
But, if one of us wins or somebody else wins, then we're just going to recycle every year, bring new bodies in, and see how people like it and just
Yeah.
move from there.
So people that are wanting to join or are interested, please comment down on the YouTube, or you can DM us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. You guys can email us at thisandthatsportspodcast@gmail.com, just to kind of let us know if you guys are interested. Maybe we'll even do a buy-in with some prize pocket. Obviously, me or Matt would have to be the treasurer on that because it's just a safety thing
That's
for,
just how
for
it
all,
works.
all the players involved that want to play. So, but we could get into that. I mean, I don't care if it's like a $10 league. I don't really care. So,
Yeah.
just to keep it interesting, because we do we didn't really go into our other leagues that we play in. We did try a dynasty this last year. So people that don't know what a dynasty league is, it's you draft the first year and then that's it. That's your team. Uh, it only resets if you win. Someone wins 2 years in a row, then it completely wipes, and then you can restart the dynasty. Uh, it didn't go too well.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really paid much attention after like the
Obviously,
first couple weeks, but
Sir Andy P did because
yeah,
he
he
was
did.
wondering where his team is.
He definitely did. But
Uh,
I didn't really care much for it. I'm not a fan of the dynasty really. I like being able to redraft every year. Because even if you are in a keeper league, you only keep 2 players, and then you can redraft everybody else, so you still have a draft every year. But
yeah,
I just wasn't a real fan of it, and most of the time, like you get down into these picks where half these guys play 1 or 2 snaps like ever. So it's a little much. I wasn't crazy about that one, but we do
yeah.
have a couple other just standard
Yeah,
leagues that we
you're
play in.
picking up third string quarterbacks for the dynasty. I mean, we had like I don't know how many rounds. I think we had like 30 rounds
Oh,
or something like
it
that.
was
Something
ridiculous.
ridiculous. By like round 15, I just auto drafted because I was like, dude, I don't even. And then also the thing for me is when you don't play for money, I don't care if it's 5, 10, $15, but if you're not playing for money, usually people get disinterested in it. They're like, "Oh, I suck. I don't care. I'm just going to leave my lineup how it is." I
Yeah,
mean, even for lower money, but then like, some sort of money keeps you. So if you do a 10-man league, $10 each, winner gets 90 technically and then they get their money back, but 100 in total. Where it makes it a little bit more fun. Our other league is 1,000, so that's even more fun. We play that legit, like no one messes around on that. Um, I just think money leagues are the way to go.
they
So
are.
just in because you have an investment in it, rather than where you're like, I could just ditch this and I don't really care. So Yeah, we do have other leagues. Me and Matt play in a ton of leagues. We played in, I think, 3 or 4 this last year. This last one, I do one with my wife and her um, work friends, and then Matt, my dad was in it, and I think just a couple of other buddies. Matt got to second place in this league.
I
My
almost
father,
won.
yeah, my father disrespected him.
Well,
Um,
actually, that was another game that I was kind of waiting on the Jamar Chase um, to see if
oh, did you have
whatever
Jamar
would happen.
Chase?
Yeah, I had him in my starting lineup,
Dang.
and that one was actually kind of close too. So that one would have mattered for me.
And I think I did one for my work. You were not in that one. I did indeed. I think I got third place in that one. Yes, yep, I see it now. I got third place in that one. My team sucked, and I don't know how I made it to third, but hey, we take where we can. And then we have one other one with my wife's family. I placed second place, and that was another. That was the one with Jamar Chase that would have really mattered. Um I traded for Jalen Hurts pretty late in the season. I forgot who I traded for. Um,
I don't
but
remember how I did in that one. I don't remember
uh,
if I did
oh,
reasonably well or not.
it doesn't let me click on it because
Yeah,
it
I
says
couldn't
send
see.
reminder. Yeah, because it hasn't been renewed yet. But other than that, I mean, I had a pretty good year last year. I got 2 second place and a third place, and then I think I won one with my wife's work friends. I believe. Or no, that's when my dad won. I'm tripping. Yeah, because that's our keeper league. That's my work league. That's the Brianna's family's work or league. That's Brianna's work league, and then there's the dynasty. Yeah, so I got in the ones that truly mattered. I had 2 second places and a third place. So not too bad, not too good, but we'll take it where we can. I mean, it is what it is at this point, you know.
I definitely had a good year. Just in, I had the first place win in the keeper league. I had the second place in your Weekend Warriors league, and then I also was in my Old Castle league with my dad and all of our coworkers when I was there at Old Castle. I ended up winning that league too, so that was another win that I pulled off this year. So,
Didn't you win another thousand over there?
uh, yeah, I think it was. No, I think it was a little less than 1,000 because like second place got their money back or something, but
Mm,
still it was a pretty big win, and yeah, I had a really good year.
yeah, that's okay. Oh, I just seen a report come in on my thing. I mean, it goes back into the news, but Nick Foles on his future. I've almost retired nearly every single year, so that's probably
This might be it for him.
this might be it for him. But other than that, I mean, yeah, please leave us a comment, email, whatever you guys feel comfortable doing, letting us know realistically what you guys want to see next in terms of fantasy um, to join this league. If there's anything you guys like or don't like about the league that we kind of are thinking about, we're going to be kind of reviewing this. This is going to get more hyped up, come end of July, beginning of August, so we can kind of start getting our teams and everything the draft ready. And more fantasy to come. I mean, fantasy right now is kind of dry just because we can only talk about the past. We can't really talk about up and coming. We've done the big things. We've done our mock drafts. We talked about the draft. So um,
We can probably get into another mock draft here pretty soon now that the rookies are in
that's true.
and the teams are solidified. Once we kind of get more, um, a little more news, kind of. Once we get past maybe June 1st, like June 1st cuts and stuff like that,
Yeah,
that might be a good time to do another mock draft. Um, but yeah, definitely talking about getting this league set up. We definitely need to get at least some head counts. People that
yeah.
would want to come in, and we need to start at least getting the league set up and stuff like that. So if you are
I'm
interested, we'll
excited.
probably need emails, phone numbers, stuff like that. We'll probably create like a group chat for the league outside of that, so like a little separate text message or something like that. just to keep the fantasy league all in one spot. So
Yeah. Obviously, if for some reason we grow larger than that, we'll probably have to do some sort of raffle for
yep,
joining the league. But if we're staying pretty steady with where we're at, then I mean the first 8 to comment we would probably do. So we'll see how kind of it takes off and stuff. This is kind of an early thing that we're kind of thinking about. So it's going to come on more. But next week, I mean, we got to figure out what we're talking about next week. We got a lot to do. You might be a busy man this upcoming week, so
yeah,
it might be hard for this next week, but we'll figure it out. We'll get something put together. Maybe you take all your stuff and do it at the hospital.
that's what I was
Just
thinking. Yeah.
just be sitting here talking, and then Vanessa in the background. Ah!
I don't know if anybody will want to see that, but
No, I don't want anyone to
yeah,
see it.
no.
But
I think maybe like later on, during the night, if I have nothing going on, I'll probably be able to do some stuff then. But
yeah,
yeah, I'll definitely have a busy week ahead of me, but we'll definitely try to stay involved. But yeah, just keep, you know, guys, just keep liking, commenting, sharing. The more you do that, the quicker we get to the 1,000 followers, so we can give away the signed jersey like you see behind me.
mine's
We'll
somewhere.
talk about even doing something else maybe down the road. I know we're talking about possibly doing one jersey for each social media, but maybe down the road we'll do another giveaway for if we get to like 2,000 followers or something. They do have
Once you
helmets
start getting,
like this, hats. There's tons of stuff that we can get and give away. So just keep sharing, keep following, keep liking.
nah, dude, it's been really fun these past two weeks and some change of doing this. So other than that, dude, I mean this is shorter than our normal ones, but given to say once again the NFL's been pretty
Yeah,
lackluster. So
and
um,
we'll dive a little more into some of the other sports as well. I mean, we'll have some more
yeah,
basketball to cover next week, and I'll kind of dive a little bit more into baseball next week as well. We'll start coming up on a point where the games and divisions are going to start getting a little tighter anyway, so it should be a better time for that.
yeah, and I've seen teams are starting to work out as of yesterday or 2 days ago. Teams are starting to work out, so maybe I mean OTAs should be within the next month or so reporting to OTAs. So I mean the news should start to pick up here soon, but it's just kind of going to be a little rough these next couple weeks. So we gotta dig deep and find some solid content.
Yeah,
So
we'll definitely play around. And if you guys have any, of course, if you guys have any input, please feel
yeah.
free to throw it in here. Any talking points that you want us to talk about, we'll definitely throw that in. So any input is appreciated.
Cool. I mean, other than that, guys, appreciate you guys listening. This has been This and That Sports. We've only been recorded in an hour 20, so
A little
that's a small
shorter.
one for us. A little shorter, but hey,
Some good information, but just
hey,
background information. That's all we needed.
we just getting right to the point. That's
That's
all.
it.
We ain't trying to hype nothing up. We just getting straight to the point, getting our facts out, and then we out.
That's it. That's all we
That's
needed.
it. That's it.
Um, and again, we'll dive deeper into like the whole keeper league and whatnot once the league, and the
Takes off.
yeah, once it starts to come along. But yeah, I mean, we'll definitely start putting together our stuff for this coming season, but it's going to take a little bit of work. So again, we'll need your guys' help with that.
Yeah. Other than that, guys, I've been appreciating you guys, all the love and support, and we will catch you guys next week.
See you next week. Thanks again.
Later.